Hello everybody and welcome to History Bite number 59, dated October 1st, 2020. I'm Walter, your mobile historian and blue-collar scholar. This History Bite is entitled Election Year Supreme Court Vacancies. Recently, Senator Ted Cruz of Texas delivered a speech to the full U.S. Senate with respect to Supreme Court vacancies which have occurred during presidential election years. And we, of course, know that this has happened twice within the past 4 years, okay, with Justice Ginsburg's recent death and, of course, with Justice Antonin Scalia's death back in 2016. Senator Cruz's speech was made largely as a rebuke to the Senate Democratic leadership's suggested idea that the Congress increase the size of the U.S. Supreme Court if President Trump's nominee to succeed Justice Ginsburg is confirmed prior to the November election. Okay? Senator Cruz's facts are indeed compelling and rebuke claims made by both sides, in fact, that filling a Supreme Court vacancy in an election year is without precedent. So without further ado, let's get to those facts. In American history, 29 nominees, have been forwarded by presidents of the United States to the U.S. Supreme Court during presidential election years, 29 nominees in total. 22 American presidents have made these nominations. So that's roughly half of the presidents of the United States. 19, of those 29 nominations came when the president and the Senate were of the same party. All right? Of those 19 nominations that occurred when the president and the Senate were of the same party, 17 of those nominees were confirmed. All right? That's a healthy margin. That's as it should be. Now, 10 of those 29 nominations came when the president and the Senate were of differing parties. And of those 10 nominees, only 2 were confirmed. So the facts speak loud and clear. When a U.S. Supreme Court vacancy occurs during a presidential election year, and the Senate and the president are of the same party, it is almost certain not only that a nomination will be made, but that confirmation will, in all likelihood, occur. Similarly, if a Supreme Court vacancy occurs during a presidential election year, and the Senate and the president are of opposing parties, it is almost certain that a nomination will occur. But it is almost equally certain that that nominee will not be confirmed. I mean, it's possible, but remember, only 2 out of 10 were confirmed, so the odds are not great. So with respect to President Obama's nomination of Merrick Garland to replace Justice Antonin Scalia in 2016, that was a no-go from the start. We appreciate his effort, but it never was going to go anywhere, all right? And Senator McConnell made that known from the get-go. Now, with respect to President Trump's nominee to replace Justice Ginsburg, being that the president and the Senate are of the same party, it is highly likely that if the Senate essentially rushes the process along, that President Trump's nominee will, in all likelihood, be confirmed by the time the November election happens. Granted, they would have to do some serious, expediting of the process to do that. But when there's a will, there's a way. All right? The process normally takes about 78 to 85 days from the point of nomination to confirmation. Okay? And that's not quite enough time, all right, from now to the November election. So, but we shall see, all right? If history teaches us anything here, with the president and the Senate being of the same party, they will do everything they can to get President Trump's nominee to replace Justice Ginsburg confirmed and on the court as soon as possible. Okay? For reference purposes, the last time that a vacancy in the office of Chief Justice became available during a presidential election year was in 1968, when Chief Justice Earl Warren tendered his resignation to President Lyndon Johnson. Okay, and of course, President Johnson nominated Associate Justice Abe Fortas to replace Chief Justice Warren. That, of course, was an absolute and total disaster, which blew up in President Johnson's face and caused a great deal of humiliation to Justice Fortas, who eventually withdrew his name from consideration. Warren remained on the court until President Richard Nixon was inaugurated in 1969, and President Nixon got the honor of choosing Chief Justice Warren's successor. And that man would, of course, be Chief Justice Warren Burger. For the record, President Nixon and Chief Justice Warren were mortal enemies, and Richard Nixon was the last man Chief Justice Warren wanted to name his successor. Probably along the same lines of logic as Justice Ginsburg felt towards President Trump, with all due respect. He would have been the last person she would have wanted to name her successor. All right? But that's how it works sometimes, okay? And of course, the most recent Associate Justice vacancy prior to Justice Ginsburg's death was, of course, Justice Antonin Scalia in 2016, also during a presidential election year. All right? It's never going to be simple or easy in a presidential election year. All right? Probably even if the president and the Senate are of the same parties. It will just be substantially more complicated when the president and the Senate are of different parties. Okay? So, that's about all to this. I thank you very much for listening to this History Bite. If you have any questions, controversies, do leave them in the comments below. I hope you learned a thing or two from this. Thanks so much for listening. Continue to listen. Take care. Stay safe out there. And I'll talk to you at the next one. Peace.